Hello, everyone. This is Varsha, and you are watching the series of success stories brought to you by Indian Achievers Forum. So, as you all know, in this segment of ours, we talk about the prominent achievers of our country who have made India proud in some way or the other. The main focus of our series is to make you all know about the success and achievements of our prominent guests. So today we have with us Mr. T.R. Vardhan, who is the CEO of Mascot Systems Private Limited. So, believing in the technical skills Mr. Vardhan possessed, he was confident in pursuing his dream of becoming the first generation entrepreneur. Few of his leadership quality includes the ability to understand the market and reach out to the customers with best possible solutions. Use various methodologies like the carrot and stick method to get the best out of his team to guide individuals and ensure that they use their strengths to the organization's advantage and much more. So let's begin our conversation with him to know more about him. But before we actually start the conversation, let's quickly have a look at a very small video telling you about what we actually do.
Indian Achievers Forum is driven by a full-fledged advisory board. The board consists of experienced personalities who have excelled in their respective careers. Together, the forum organizes conferences, events, workshops, exhibitions, trade shows, and B2B initiatives in India as well as abroad. Where there is passion, there is achievement. And where there is achievement, there is Indian Achievers Forum.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you so much, Varsha. Thank you for inviting me to your show.
So before we actually start the conversation, I am very keen to know that how did you actually land up to the idea of starting up with this particular segment?
Well, it's a small little story which dates back to 2005 when I had a couple of losses in my family and I had to leave my the place of work, which was Chennai, and move towards Bangalore. Having worked out and left Chennai and moved towards Bangalore, I thought what I could possibly do is start a venture, a new organization, and I could possibly see how I could help the employees who would eventually work for me and the kind of difficulties the employees faced while I was working in a large organization and see that those problems are addressed. It's just a challenge that I took, ensuring that I am able to be successful by the basic thing that I was technically very confident about myself, then I would be able to deliver what my customers would eventually need out of me in the segment where I had my strengths.
All right, sir. So, life is not a cakewalk for any one of us. So, I'm sure you must have also faced some sort of challenges in your professional journey. So, tell us a bit about those challenges, please.
The biggest challenge that anybody would face in starting an organization is the kind of regulations that were going around in those days, back in 2005 and later again in 2010. There were various government regulations which were quote unquote supposed to be stringent, and in spite of the fact that you follow all those norms, yet there was tremendous harassment from the government authorities. That's one challenge that I faced. The second challenge that I personally faced initially was cash flow. Every single customer of mine would want credit, but would not honor the word that he would give. Cash flow was a serious issue. The third issue that I personally faced is being able to tell my customers the advantages that he would get in using my product, which typically was about 5 to 15 times the incumbent product. I had to do a lot of hard work there and ensure I'm able to convince my customers. These were the three major hurdles that I faced when I started out my organization.
All right, sir. So, if I talk about the product and services, so what exactly are the services that Mascot System is providing to people out there?
Primary service that we provide is how we from Mascot Systems can ensure by investing in the products of Mascot, the customer return of investment would be faster than and get more benefits than using an incumbent product. We we tailor make a lot of parts to suit their requirement. While their initial costs are normally very high, the return of investment could be anywhere ranging from 3 months to a year and a half. We offer services for the oil and gas segment. We offer our services for the food and pharma. We offer services for the petrochemical complexes. Now, what's important here is the fact that any product that they are buying out of us, for example, for an emission safety product, we offer something called of perfluoroelastomer, which is a generic name, while we represent DuPont's major called Calrus. The other product that we have is to ensure we are able to take care of the process safety and the explosion safety. When I say process safety, what I mean is in every petrochemical, pharma, or refinery, we need to take care that the process they are running are safe. Now, these are typically in large vessels, in large pipelines. And if I have to ensure the entire thing is safe, the entire pressure vessel is safe, I have to give solutions for the process safety by providing the required product there, which is a highly engineered product by which they are able to save the entire process. The flip side of it is the explosion safety, wherein we ensure we are able to take care of explosions which occur in various process plants. Typically, when you see, you have the coal dust, you have the sugar, you have all these various dusts or powder which can explode at a small spark. We provide necessary safety measures in providing an equipment called the explosion safety device, manufactured by Rembe, Germany. We do the engineering and ensure in the event of an explosion, it's only that the explosion vent would explode while the entire people and the equipment are very safe. Apart from these, we have other niche engineering products which cater to the refinery petrochemical and again the same process industry.
All right. So everyone do plans for their future. So, what is your roadmap to it? What further plans you are having for the organization?
Well, my plans for the organization is more reflected towards what I can do for the process industry. Now, one of the major issues that we are facing today is the emissions. We talk of a lot of emissions, a lot of pollution that's occurring across various locations across the country due to vehicles. But not many look at the kind of emissions that occur out of the various process industry. Just to give you an example, in a refinery or a petrochemical complex, we would house something of the order of around 100,000 valves for a plant refinery capacity of 3 million ton per annum. Now, each of these valves typically run with an emission level of anywhere between 1,000 ppm upwards of 2,500 to 4,000 ppm, while the norms that one needs to maintain is a little under 100 ppm. Detailed engineering, we will be working on detailed engineering on this by providing safety for the process industry, reducing emissions, and with that coming into place, we should be able to grow our organization to a level which is 2 times or 3 times. Second point is, if I can give a return of investment for my customers of a little under a year, together with me and my customers, we would like to grow. If I'm going to be making money, it's important that my customer saves a lot of money. It's a mutual thing. And as I look at it, spread over the next 5 years, I look to grow a little over 3 to 4 times.
All right, sir. So now moving ahead, from March 2020 onwards, like till date, we all are now very well, updated with the importance of becoming Atmanirbhar. So, what are your thoughts and views on this Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign? And also, how is your organization working towards this?
Just as I explained to you a short while ago about the emission containment and the emission reduction in the industry, these are typically done by some foreign consultant or some foreign guy who's going to be coming in and try to work on it. With this initiative, let alone me doing it for our industry in India, this reduction of emissions, which is more of my thought, can be extended to the levels across the world. Well, the products might come in from anywhere in the world, maybe India, maybe overseas. It can come in from anywhere. But the basic thought process and the kind of service that I'm going to be providing would make it Atmanirbhar Bharat. And what somebody else would do from overseas, we would be able to do it for the country, thus saving probably not great amount of money, I would believe, for consultancy, which we would pay approximately about 25 to 50 million dollars. We would be able to do it well from in India at much lower cost to a tune of around anywhere between 10 to 15 million dollars.
So now moving ahead, though I know it's always a wonderful feeling when we get recognitions for our work, but still I would love to know from you that what are your feelings on winning this Indian achievement?
I very honestly believe it's not that I have won this award. I would rather credit the entire award to my entire organizations, my other stakeholders, like my customers, my principals, my bankers, without whose support I don't think I would have been anywhere close to winning this award. It's primarily every single individual who's been associated with the organization. The credit goes to each and every one of them. And the main credit which I would give is my entire team, starting from Sandeep Gupta at the top, right up to the junior most person in the organization. It's a combined effort, and thanks to them, we've been able to achieve this.
And I once again congratulate the entire team for the award, sir.
Thank you.
All right, sir. So now, moving ahead, though, as till now, we have discussed a lot about your professional role. Tell us a bit about your social contribution to peace.
Well, let me put it this way. A little over 50% of what I make personally is donated for various welfare schemes or various schemes across the country. Maybe it's for a cancer society. Maybe it could be working towards getting homes for people, supporting people who are going through dialysis, supporting them financially there, trying to ensure that every single Indian tomorrow, whatever little bit I can do, it may not be the entire India, it may be a small block, are able to move at least 2 notches from where they are today. Be it patients, be it people who need medical treatment, maybe people who need education, people who may need better classroom facilities. Like, for example, my school back in Bangalore was running out of water. And being a Kendriya Vidyalaya, there were too many problems in trying to get approvals on drilling a bore well. I took it up personally on myself and ensured that I had the bore well done so that the school could have enough water both for drinking and other purposes. Furthermore, being a Kendriya Vidyalaya, I also took this initiative of building clean toilets, which was the thought across the country for the school children, and it made me feel proud. Not going to leave it at here. Look forward to doing many more things for the society as we move forward.
And the things you have been doing, I must say, is making all of us proud of you, sir. All right. So now, last but surely not the least, what message or mantra you would like to give to our younger generation to become successful in their careers?
The single mantra is Just ensure while you're dealing with your stakeholders, you're honest to each one of them. And before that, be honest to yourself that you are doing something good for the nation first, and as a small bit, doing something for your own self.
Right, sir. So thank you so very much for joining us today. It was pleasure talking to you, and I wish you all the luck for all your future plans, future endeavors too, and may you continue to inspire us all the way you are doing. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much, Varsha.